Hey there, comic book friends. I'm Travis, and this is another edition of What the Fugue, where I talk about what's going on with me in my world of comics this week. Let's see. Where do I want to start? Let's start with Saga, issue number 12. And of course, I'm assuming most of you heard that as of yesterday, supposedly Apple was banning issue number 12 due to some content, some sexual content that was in it. Some people, there were some accusations that the content, because of course it was gay sex, that's why it was being withheld. We find out today that it was never actually Apple that was withholding it. Comixology was withholding it through the Apple app because of their understanding of the language in the app and how it's supposed to work. They don't want to be in trouble with Apple. Since then, it is now available to rent, to purchase digitally anyway. Of course, my simple answer to all of this digital hoopla is don't buy a digital, buy a paper copy, because that's the better version anyway. The images in question are smaller than the size of a postage stamp, for what that's worth, for those of you who aren't going to be reading the book. I've seen the images, yeah, whatever. I haven't actually read the book yet, so I don't know if they're in content or not. But I did learn something really interesting. Regardless of the whole censorship thing, non-censorship thing, Apple has the right to determine what gets produced through them, and that's fine. I mean, yeah, you can call it censorship, but if it's an app that anyone can use, then I can understand their concern, because it is a mature reader content. But they have lots of that stuff out there that they don't censor, so it needs to be consistent, would be my only thought on that. But really, what really I discovered out of the whole thing is, if you're going to buy your digital comics, don't buy them through the app. Don't buy them through the app ever. If you're doing that, stop. And this is why I say so. Buy it through the directly through like the site for image or whatever, and then you can upload it to any of your devices or whatever. Because I discovered out of this whole thing from multiple creators have said that if you're buying through the Apple app, Apple gets 30% cut right off the top. That's 30% that doesn't go to the creators. And I guess for me, in my opinion, is as much of the money as possible should be going to the creator. And so if they're taking yet a further 30% cut from sales digitally, if they go through Apple, I would say don't use it. Let's make sure that creators are successful as possible and earn as much of that money as possible. I've always been inclined, I'd rather buy directly from a creator if it's possible, because I know more of the money's going in their pocket to meet their needs and whatnot. So this whole thing, regardless of what your opinion is, whether you think that, you know, it's whatever, I don't think it's a big stunt. This whole, oh, we're banning it, and oh no, now we're not banning it, because if it was a stunt, it still hurts Apple and Comixology. This whole thing, that brief threat of not having it, people are going to find a different source because they don't like feeling like there's the potential for a threat or this potential censorship or whatever. It doesn't seem like a good gimmick. It would be a very dumb gimmick, and it would be at the cost of Comixology, and they certainly aren't going to do anything that's going to drive business away from them, and that's what that would do. So regardless of what your opinion is of the content of the book, I don't have a problem with it. I'm sure I won't have a problem with it. It's a mature book. It's not like it hasn't had lots of other sex and sexual situations in the book, and I'm not offended by gay sex, so whatever. Like I said, not that I think that's necessarily the case. So there's that. What I've learned out of it, if I choose to buy any digital comics, which occasionally I do have to buy it in a digital comic, if I'm going to, I'm not buying it through those apps. I will buy it as direct as I can to make sure that most of the money is going to the creators, because I think that's important. Let's see what else is going on. I just heard, rumor has it, that through looking at the future ads for an omnibus, it looks like in this next September, you know, every September, DC seems to be doing some big thing. Of course, the first, you know, September 2011, they relaunched the entire universe. 2012, we got all the Zero issues. It sounds like that in 2013, September 2013, they're going to do all villain issues. We're going to see a story from the villain side of the books that are out there, possibly. They've done this before after the Final Crisis, I think it was. I think it was Final Crisis. They did a The Face of Evil or something like that is what it was called. In every book, it was told the story was villain-centric. So it's not like this isn't something they haven't done before. But it sounds like that's what's going to come. And this villain-centric story will land right after, it looks like, right after the whole Trinity War thing. Coincidence? I don't know. But something that could be interesting for those of us who like to read the villain stories and whatnot. That could be pretty cool. As far as that sorts of news, that's all I can think of. I'm really excited, guys, by everybody who has started picking up the Six Gun. I'm glad I did what I did. I'm glad people are really excited about it. I'm glad that my excitement about it finally, turned, some other people to do their own videos talking about how excited they are by the book and whatnot. And I tell you, you guys that have just gotten through that first trade, it just gets better. The book just gets better. Much more exciting and dynamic, I think, as it goes on along. Speaking on that, I kind of forgot about something, so I'm going to walk away from the camera very unprofessionally, and I'll be right back because I want to show something. Talk amongst yourselves! Talk amongst yourselves! Okay, I'm back. I went to Emerald City Comic Con, and I bought some original art, and I showed that art, and I said I had another piece coming. Well, last week, after my What the Fugue from last week, I believe, I got my final piece of art, and it's another Six Gun piece. It is the final page from issue 11. Potential spoilers, I don't think so really, though. I don't think this is going to run through. But this is the page I got. Brian Hurt. There, a train car. And then a chained up wooden coffin with a ton of crosses and crucifixes around it. I think it is absolutely awesome. Good old Brian Hurt there. It will certainly be framed at some point here and hung on my wall. Very excited about that. So that's awesome. Comic book stuff that's happened here very recently. Check out the Captain Cummings has a floating head video that's pretty funny. For those of you who don't know, I am not a fan of floating head covers. I dislike them very much. I don't like the way they look. They just seem ridiculous to me in a number of ways. I used to do a video thing that well, maybe someday I'll pick it back up again. I don't know how popular it was because it was very long. It was a very long video. I'd do a hangout and I'd go through the solicitations and talk about covers, my opinion on the cover and what I thought of and whatnot. And anytime a floating head cover came up, I'd really tear it apart, being a floating head cover. So Phil, at the last con he was at, he went around and asked some of the creators what they thought of floating heads. What really kills me is, of course, Phil says that the people who didn't like floating head covers didn't want to be on camera saying they didn't like floating head covers. So shame on you, you cowards, for not saying you didn't like floating heads. And the other thing that kills me is Brian Hurt, the artist for Six Gun. He likes floating heads. Shame on him. Shame on him. I want some of my money back. But he's never done a floating head cover, to the best of my knowledge, but he seems to dig them. And I think they're ridiculous. I think they're ridiculous. I mean, I appreciate them for what they were back in the day, but they burn me to have them now. Anyway, that's a fun video. You should watch it. It's only a minute or so long, but very amusing, very cool for Phil to go and do that. That was pretty cool. Let's see what else is out there. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot else going on. I got my everything boxed up in my boxes. Each box, well, I ended up having to put my entire Hellblazer collection and my Doom Patrol collection in just a regular long box set up to the side. It's not actually in a drawer box right now because I actually ran out of room. Each box is probably 85% or more full right now. So I'm going to have to make another investment in some drawer boxes, and then I think I'm going to have to do some rearranging of some more part of my basement. Figure out exactly where I'm going to stack those boxes. I mean, like you see here that this is these boxes. These boxes are that's 4th box high. Technically, the stats are you can stack these boxes 6 high and they're still safe structurally. There won't be any problems as far as that goes. But I'm 6'4", and I've got the boxes set up on a platform that's probably about 6 inches high. Okay, because I don't want them right on the floor, just in the off chance there were to be a flood in my basement or something. I want there to be some chance my comics survive. But that's awfully tall, and when that's full, that's a lot to try and handle and whatnot. And any higher than that, I'd have to literally pull the box completely out, pull the drawer out to actually see and put the books in it. And then I'm lifting it shoulder high or higher, which just probably can't be really healthy for me. So I really don't want to stack them higher than 4. I kind of like having this be in kind of a table type shelf thing as I'm working on my books. So I don't know if I'll stack the rest of them 4 out or stretch down the wall. And that's probably more information than you care to know about me and how I'm storing my comics. Yeah, I think that's about it. Comic Talk Podcast is this Friday at its normal time. I just want to say, hey, I really appreciate Captain Cummings Phil letting me and Scott host the show while he was off doing the con. That was really cool of him. I appreciate the fact that pretty much Scott let me run the thing and whatnot. It was fun. I hope everybody else enjoyed that show. It was great. We had some people on we don't normally get to see a whole lot of. Sleepy Reader 66 I know has been on once before, but we got him on again. Got to listen to him talk some more. That was awesome. Terrence, Comic Crack, he was on. He's a cool cat. Reads a lot of interesting stuff and whatnot. It was cool to have him on. So yeah, it was cool to get some new faces on there. Hopefully we get some more new faces on. I actually will not be on this week. As it turns out, that is my father's birthday. I couldn't convince him that his birthday should be on a different day. And so I've got to go and do something with my family, the extended family. So I'll be birthday partying while you guys have the hangout. Hopefully I'll catch the end of the hangout. Maybe I'll be one of those people who comes in late. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know how long I'll be, how late I'll be or whatever. But hopefully I can catch some of you guys down the road. I know last time I did a Walk the Fugue, I said, hey, hit me up for hangouts and whatnot. And a couple people have and haven't been able to jump on, and I apologize for that. It's ended up being a busier week than what I thought it was going to be. Last week was really busy between getting to the other thing, getting to the Excalibur Brits getting to be on their show. That was awesome too. Appreciate them letting me on. Even if I did feel like I had to defend all of DC, which I know that wasn't the intention. But it was still fun. It was fun to be on there, to get to talk to those guys. Because they're a bunch of sharp, articulate guys and run a great show. So that was pretty cool. Anyway, hoping I get on some hangouts going forward here. I know a couple other people have hit me up, and I've not flat ignored them, but haven't really been good answers as to when that's going to happen. I'm doing the Howler Mouse. Tim is doing a kind of a small-ish community type jam where he's asked some of us to create create characters, write basically a bio background kind of a thing on them, who they are, what they're about, and that sort of thing, and then draw a picture of them. So that's been taking up most of my free time right now, besides trying to catch up on comics, is doing that. I used to draw quite a bit back when I was much younger, but I haven't stretched those muscles in a very long time, so I'm really struggling to try and get a picture that I'm willing to actually show to people. But I've decided I'm not going to worry about it. Worry about it too much. It is what it is. You guys will see the stuff, I think, this weekend or something or other. I probably won't do, Tim said we could do videos on it. I probably won't do a video on it until after he's done his thing. Then I'll go back and flesh out whatever I think I need to flesh out, or my process, or what I went through to come up with what I came up with, or that sort of thing. But that's going to be pretty fun, I think, over the weekend and stuff too. But I got to get that done. I got 2 days to get it finished up. So as soon as I'm done recording this, that's what I'll be spending my time on. It won't take me long once I actually get set down and get locked in and get doing it and whatnot. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's what I got going on this week. I can't think of any pressing books that, oh my gosh, you better go out and get right now, or better order or whatnot. I haven't done my order yet for the month for the stuff that's coming out in the advanced solicitation. So maybe next time I'll talk about what might be out there that people might want to jump on that maybe you hadn't heard about if you're just walking into a comic book store, and that comic book store doesn't carry or doesn't talk about some of the other independent stuff that's out there that might be in the works. Anyway, I'm going to quit just rambling now, and hope to catch some of you guys and some hangouts down the road, whatever. I'll start jumping on some of those. Keep sending them my way, if you invite me, because I like BS and comics. I mean, who doesn't? So I'd gladly jump on, some of those if I'm around. Just don't get offended if I don't jump on it, because sometimes it just doesn't work out for me to do that when the invite's sent. I'm in the middle of eating dinner or whatever, or I'm at work, those sorts of things. Because I'm on the West Coast, so I'm a lot later than a lot of you guys are. So anyway, that's it. Have a great week, everybody, and maybe I'll catch some of you on the weekend.